I've re-recorded this a few times because I keep getting really self-conscious. So I'm going to make this really quick and let you know that the channel name has changed. It is no longer Tintania the Star Kindler. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like the the truest version of me. With this whole timeline merger thing that's been happening, and I apologize, I don't like being in front of the camera. So I'm going to do my best to make this quick and yeah, I'm just changing the channel name, and it's going to be this name for a very long time because it's my name. And some of you know me as Celeste, and that's my middle name anyway. So yeah, you know my name, and you know what I bring to the table with this channel. And in order to be my most authentic self, to be able to show you and to help you be your authentic self, I think putting on names and all sorts of things is just too much. We got to go back to the simplicity and the basicness of life. The old ways, which were probably more productive and creative than we have been lately as a society. And if I can do my small part and just bring myself to the table and say, hey, this is my name, here's my channel, and there's no fluff, it's just complete me. And all of my weirdness, and I do a lot of weird things, you know this, right? Like, this channel on YouTube, there's so much that comes through me for you guys. It's ridiculous. It's actually kind of humbling when I watch some of my own videos and I listen to what I'm saying, and I don't even feel like most of the time it's just me. It's a lot of information for, it's gonna go beyond me, honestly, beyond this minor human version of me, which isn't minor at all. And I'm realizing this more and more the farther and longer I get in life, where I'm just experiencing the magic that life has to offer, the more I realize everything we're doing is ridiculous in life. What really matters is how we communicate to each other, that we comprehend who and what we are without other people telling us, and to strip away the layers and layers and layers of deceit and manipulation that's been put on us, which has caused us to adapt to a different form of life, where when someone hurts you and you become a different person, and then you lose the part of yourself that you knew, and then you feel like, oh, what did I do wrong? Or you didn't do anything wrong. You just, a part of you was damaged, and instead of healing it, you put it away. And that's what I did. I got really hurt, and I went through massive amounts of different changes and shifts, and recently with this timeline collapse stuff, which is actually real. As strange as it sounds, it's real. And I'm going to explain this to you in those fancy schmancy doodles I do for you. It'll be fun. I'm going to make it really simple for you. And yeah, simplicity, basicness. And my shirt looks purple even though it's black, and those curtains look super purple even though they're not that purple. I guess I'm emitting a very indigo violet frequency today. I don't know. I've changed so much around the house. I got rid of a bunch of stuff. I went through my entire closet and rearranged everything that I haven't worn, and things that were from like when I was predominantly male, which according to my mom was never. I guess we'll have a quick little chat with this. I talked to my mom today because I have a doctor's appointment for an orchiectomy next week, and I was freaking out, and I talked to her. I'm like, how do you feel about this? Like, me and my mom have been around the longest out of my entire family, other than my dad. We have a very different relationship, and in the timelines that have collapsed, her and I didn't have a good relationship, and some of them we did. So when I spoke to her today, it was like all of those versions of us came into one point where she told me that when I was younger, she never really looked at me as a boy. It was just something that seemed like it was what it was because of the way my body was. But she told me about these dreams she had before I was born, where like the dreams of me as a baby, she saw my genitals were covered in this like glowy green aura, and she couldn't tell if she was having a boy or a girl. And she told me this, and I'm like, whoa, this is fun. Like, why didn't you ever tell me this before? And she was telling me how when I was growing up, I was very, very, like, pixie-ish, very elfin, like, thin and wavy and just very soft and gentle and graceful. And all those medications they had given me when I was younger, they really screwed me up. And she was talking to me about all of this. And she's like, looking back at it, I never really saw you as a male. I just didn't want to, like, didn't know what to do with it. I mean, you were born a boy, or it seems like you were born a boy, but your entire life you've been acting like a woman pretending to be a boy. And I almost started crying so bad. I was like, holy shit, you get it. Like, this version of you actually gets it. Very fascinating. The past week since, by the way, this whole timeline thing, it's associated with the planets. The planets are also aspects of you, your own body. You can look at each planet as a different chakra on your system. When Saturn, now that Saturn on September 14th, I think it is going to go into another stage. Sorry, my nose is itchy and I'm holding a phone. Now that Saturn is doing its a whole 12-year thing, and all the other planets are doing other strange things, which hasn't really happened in a long time. And the nature of this construct that we're living in, and this planet itself, and how everything is evolving, that's where this timeline stuff comes in. Consciousness has evolved too much not too much. It's evolved past a point of remaining in a loop of repetitive redundancy, like the same thing over and over, but to a point where it's like you're watching a rerun, and in that rerun, they're showing another rerun of the rerun. That's what we've been living. We've been making the same mistakes over and over for so long, and this thing, by this timeline stuff, by the very nature of how reality works, you can even, I think it's the Ethiopian calendar and the Aztec calendars, the old original ones basically, not the Gregorian one. All those calendars are on the next month or so, up until next year, March next year. There's some stuff I don't comprehend about placements, timelines, clocks, gears, and all sorts of stuff that's happening. So Saturn, when it moves the next month, it goes into a 12-year cycle until it goes all around the solar system again. And the energy that Saturn brings is like core, basic structure, karma, time, all of these things. So it's locking people into a frequency bandwidth that is meant to teach you. So all in all, it's from your source self. It's from your totality, your originator self, trickled down through different aspects of yourself, like layers of an onion, all the way till it gets to the core. And from the core, it shifts back out again and blooms upwards. Kind of like you planted a seed, the seed went into the ground, the soil was shifted now, and the soil was changed, so now you get to grow in different soil. Or you can choose to stay in the same soil and grow with that and learn how to do something different. It's all unique for all of you. The basic part of it that we all share is that the frequency and the vibration we're in is shifting. And in this shift, your vibration and frequency will lock on and click like gears of a clock to a specific bandwidth, like a radio tuner. And when this happens, you're not going to really be able to jump to the other timeline again. Example being, if in one timeline you're a female and in the other one you're a male, you still have time to actually literally wake up in the other timeline where you've been a female all along. I've been in the middle of it, like back and forth, bouncing between them and gaining and having the memories of both timelines, which isn't pleasant whatsoever. It's caused a lot of chaos in my life. And I've noticed today that I seem to I've been on a different reality in a way. I don't know. I'm still learning most of this stuff. And the information I get from source is very... like, you know that kid in school that gets all the hard lessons and none of the teachers are nice to this kid because they're all like, you can do so much better than what you're doing. Like, I'm that kid. Source is being mean to me. But it's all for something. Like, I've been going through all this stuff so that I can help you guys. Or the next generation, or I don't know, help myself in some way. Either way, I'm teaching you what I learned. I'm sharing it with you. So don't freak out about the timeline stuff. Don't freak out about the name change on the channel. Just do your best. Literally, do your best to be yourself. You know when people say, oh, I'm doing my best, but inside they know that they can do a little more. Kind of like in the fairy oracles I use when I do some card readings. The master maker, where it's like, you've done perfect, but could you do a little more and raise the standard of what you're doing? Just a little. One more baby step. One more little inch. If you can, do it. If you really can't, if you've done everything you can, rest easy. Just be a good person. Just be a kind person. You don't need anything else other than kindness. Everything else comes after that. And make peace with yourself. That's one of the best ways to be your most authentic self. Make peace with it. For all those people that are transgender, and even the people that aren't transgender, there's a side of you that exists within you that you don't really acknowledge. And that side of you is going to be made known to you very soon if it hasn't already. And it could cause a lot of confusion and chaos in you, which would be handled a lot more gracefully if you are aware that you are a multi-dimensional being and that you have more than one aspect of your consciousness that can inhabit your body at the same time. So make peace with yourself. In some timeline, you're a big macho man, and in another one, you're, Queen of Transylvania, or Queen of the Vampires. I don't know, you're something. You're beautiful either way. So take care of yourself, and if you've been waiting for an excuse to better yourself, to change your hair, to change your clothes, to change the way you are, now is the time. And this isn't a fear-mongering thing at all. Like, this is what happens in the cosmos all the time. It's just people don't pay attention to the stars anymore, which is sad. It's really freaking sad. And if you knew, like, the old Druid ways, the Zoroastrian ways, the ways of life and the flow of creation, if you knew about all this stuff, you would realize that this is all an amazing time to live in. Everything's changing and evolving and growing, and you are too. So if you feel stuck and stagnant, it's just because you're ready to change. This is very important. If you have wronged someone, if you have lied, cheated, betrayed, stolen, ghosted, make peace. Make peace with it, not for the other person's sake, not even for your current self's sake, but for your future self. Truly, everything you've done up to this point, good and bad, will come back to you within these next 12 years. Saturn as a planet, as an energy, does not play around. You ever have your Saturn return every 8 years. Every 12 years, Saturn clicks into a different position or a different cycle, basically. It's like a new year for it, and then it goes through all the houses again. About a year in each house, I think. And if you've been withholding forgiveness, kindness, grace, property, material things, experiences, memories, truth, affection, even if you don't like somebody or if you love somebody, if you've been withholding information from people that would serve them or better their life in some way or give them any form of peace, it will come back to haunt you. It will. I know this. I have experienced this 3 times already. It's not pleasant. It's not. So make peace. Just because you make peace doesn't mean you're gonna, marry that person or whatever. It means you're making peace. You're not burning bridges, you're building bridges so that you can have an interconnected web of life across the entire tapestry of your life. Instead of being like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm gonna burn this, I'm gonna burn that. No, stop it. No burning. No, bad. Growth, rejuvenation, regeneration. Plant a garden, grow. Oh, this is a really cute idea that I just got. Thank you. Go find a little plant, a little potted anything, like a container. Use a gallon of water and cut it in half. It's easy. And get some soil. You can go in your backyard. You can go into a forest preserve. You can go into a park. People will think you're crazy, but it's okay. Put a little dirt in there, or just go to the gardening store. Ow. Or go to the gardening store and get some soil and find a tree. Go somewhere and find a tree, or find a cutting off a tree. Ask the tree for permission. Maybe there's like a branch that you can just kind of pluck off a tree and be like, thank you, and plant it. And while you're planting it, set an intention that as that tree grows, so does your capacity to love and accept love. Make a friend. Connect with the natural world. Go to the lake if you're near one. Go or open a faucet of water, and just put a little crystal in the water and keep it in a container and seal it shut. But before you do, whisper to the water. Whisper for good health and well-being, for success and happiness in your life, for kindness to come to you from all directions, north, south, east, and west. And leave it. And then in 12 years, and all these years that are going to go on, notice how your life changes. Make those things anchors for yourself and your experience of how you have changed as a person, how you've grown. I went from somebody that was 95 pounds and on the verge of death. And I'm on my own now, living in my own apartment, doing my own thing, and I'm healthier than I've ever been in my life. And I say I'm actually kind of happy. And I've been really screwed over. Really. And I don't even want to tell you the way I've been screwed over, but I think I have to, so that you're not alone. No matter how many experiences or things I tell you about the world, none of them mean anything if you cannot relate to the story you're hearing. It'll just be another TV show for you. And that's not what I'm here to bring you. I'm here to bring you another real living source incarnate being telling you, hey, all of this stuff is going on and none of it matters. What matters is you. You. Not me, not them. To you, nothing else matters but you. To me, nothing else matters but me. And I don't want to say once everything's okay, because everything is already okay. But once you can accept that you are the most important person in your life, you will start to notice everything around you that is really frivolous and pointless And then all the things you've done in life will seem very different when you realize that the love you've been wanting to give is the love your body is craving from you. Take care of yourself. Enjoy this timeline merging and shifting. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your manifestations. And like, comment, and subscribe. Whatever. And yeah. I'm gonna be making a bunch of more videos this week, and I will attempt to be in front of the camera slightly more than I have been, especially for card readings, because I'm noticing that when I'm reading cards, I seem to pause a lot, and it would be better if you're actually looking at me reading the cards, because I'm curious to see if there's any orbs flying around me. 2, I want you to see the connection I'm making to Source to bring you this information and what Source wants you to know. And Source as in God, but not God, the biblical God. As in the actual totality of everything there was, is, and will be. Some of us, all of us, have a very deep connection with this energy. Some of us just filter it through different filters. I don't. My filters were broken when I was a very young person. And yeah. So the channel name has changed. The content of this channel will continue to be similar to what it's been, but better and more simple and more authentic, dare I say. And yeah, if you guys have gotten any results from the subliminals, by the way, let me know, because I've been getting some very interesting results, and I don't want to post mine because it'll be like I'm tooting my own horn, which I really don't want to do. Obviously, my self-confidence isn't as like on goddess level yet. I'm still like, I don't know, still Sailor Moon inside. Okay, I'm gonna go. It has been a long day. I have done way too much heavy lifting and pushing and grocery shopping and running around gardening, and it's been an awesome day. Except for one part where I got really sad. I missed someone dearly. And why am I telling you this? Because I learned something from that moment of missing this person. I realized that I've been, on a soul level, I've been really cruel to myself, to get myself to realize, to see and accept the strength I actually have. And like a parent to a child, some aspect of me decided to be really fucked up to myself, because it was the only way I would have learned. Because I'm stubborn. I'm dreamy, weeny, and I'm spaced out all the time. I'm like in different realities and dimensions. I see visions, and I get literal prophecies and channeled through me through Source, and I see nature and life, and I see it all, and I hear it and feel it, and sometimes I lose myself in all of it. So the way that the core version of me was supposed to come out, I kept running from it. So this massive amount of pain had to occur in my life for me to go all the way in to my own being and find this, I don't want to use labels or words on it, but this goddess inside that I've been too afraid to be. And I can feel that energy like a current under my feet and through my bones. The world is changing. And oh, the Lord of the Rings intro just flashed through my mind, where Galadriel's talking and she's saying the world has changed and she could smell it in the water and all these things, which you should go watch it. It's great. Even if you just watch the first 5 minutes of the first movie, the intro is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go and I don't know, maybe play some Elder Scrolls or something. I'm done trying to manifest things. I am, for now at least. I'm working on a few things, like holding the phone upright without. I'm taking care of myself. And yeah, take care of yourself as well. And what else? Any more and then? Anything else? No? Yes? Oh, eat a cupcake. Have something sweet. Be kind to yourself. If you want to eat, you know, some meat or sugar or a candy bar or some ice cream, appreciate yourself enough to not deny yourself that which would bring you joy. And I don't mean pleasure, like lusty pleasure or like hurting someone, none of that. But if you want a candy bar and you're like, oh, I can't eat it, I'll get fat, just eat it. Just freaking eat it. You have one life that you're living, kind of. You have one life that you're experiencing consciously. Don't make it the life that you denied yourself everything. Don't make this the life that you were betrayed and wounded and abandoned and discarded and you spent your entire life crying. I've already done that. You don't have to do that. I already learned that lesson for Source. You can go learn another lesson for Source, okay? You can go experience something else. God doesn't want you to be hurt. None of the gods want you to be hurt. None of them want you on your knees. None of them want you, bending over backwards for a man or a woman. They all, from beginning of time till now, till whenever, have wanted your happiness, well-being, and love in life for yourself. So stop denying yourself. Stop hurting other people. Stop lying, cheating, doing all that terrible stuff. If you want to live in a world that's more peaceful, if you want to grow a garden, if you want to have your own cottage, your own mansion, your family, or you just travel the world by yourself with the love of your life, you're going to have to start acting like you're that person that would actually enjoy those things instead of complain about those things. If you want to be a beautiful woman, you're going to have to stop thinking you're a man. If you want to be a man, you're going to have to stop thinking you're a woman. You are an equal amount of both energies. The only question is, how do you want to express yourself? Make it simple for yourself. You're not picking your gender, you're not picking your stuff. That's already all, that's later. When you come into a game, you pick a video game, you pick the character, the class that you want to play, and then you pick male or female. In this reality, you're already male and female. So just pick the best version of yourself and start acting like it. And if you don't know what that version is, just be a good person. Just be a good person. Respect the sanctity of love. Whenever you're confused on what to do, ask yourself, is this something that respects love? And if it's not, then don't do it. How much better we would all be, better off we would all be if all of those people that hurt us and all of those people that we hurt, if we all came together and said, I'm sorry. I didn't realize how much that hurt you. Or I'm sorry. I love you very much and I would like to spend the rest of my life with you. And please forgive me for the things I did wrong before. Make peace, okay? And I don't know what else to tell you other than this energy transmission I'm sending over your way, which I hope you can feel. You are so loved. You are so cared for. You're so appreciated. You are so forgiven and you are so blessed. Please accept it and be kind to yourself. Make peace with those who've wronged you, and make peace with yourself for allowing yourself to get wronged. It was all to get you to be the person you know you are. So quit acting like a baby. Pull up your panties and your boy shorts. Hold your partner's hand, or the person you miss, even if they're not around. And just make peace. Okay? I love you. Take care of yourself.